So after the pandemic, it has become very important to talk about mental health, well-being and healthy habits that you can do to support it. So this video will cover what do we know so far about the relationship between diet and your mental health. I will also be sharing a query that I got and what steps we took, like practical everyday steps we took to resolve that as an example. Look at specific dietary patterns that can help you to improve your mental health, and lastly what you can do, like small everyday things that you can inculcate in your lifestyle that will help you to better it. And that query is something where you don't feel like eating food, especially normal food like roti sabzi. So what you can do and what are the steps you can take to better your mental health and diet. So stay tuned for that at the end of the video. So welcome back to Full Plate Nutrition. This is Disha Gada, degree in nutrition and dietetics and advanced diploma in weight loss and weight management. You know that I am legit. My aim with this channel is that I equip you with correct knowledge about nutrition and exercise so that you can conquer health. I aim to upload once or twice in a week. So if that's of interest to you, please go there and hug the subscribe button. And now let's get on to the video. So nutrition and mental health. Is there any link between that? And if yes, what does the science say? So have you ever felt that your appetite goes down when you are stressed? Or you suffered from diarrhea just before your exams? Or probably you've craving some sweet just before a big interview? Comment down below, does your appetite go up or down with stress? So by now we all know that diet plays an important role in your health and well-being. But is there any link between diet and mental health as well? The answer is yes. Research now shows that diet plays a huge role in your social, emotional as well as mental well-being. Although this is a huge topic and there's still a lot to discover, but let's see what's the link between your diet and mental health. So for a long time there's a lot of taboo that's been attached to mental health. They are usually treated through psychiatric processes of counseling, probably medication and sometimes even hospitalization. But now there's a very new and upcoming field known as nutrition psychiatry. And this field aims to treat mental conditions through changes in diet and lifestyle. Our gut is now known as second brain. So there's no surprise that what we eat also affects our mental well-being. Okay, so the most relatable example that I can give you. Have you ever noticed that when you go for a vacation for 5 to 6 days and you're eating everything over there, ultra processed food, simple foods, sugar, left, right and center, and when you come back you're feeling extremely lazy, lethargic, you don't feel motivated to work, and at the same time you do not feel fresh at all? One reason that our food affects us so greatly is because our gastrointestinal system, which is also known as gut, affects and is very closely related to our brain. Our gut has trillions of living microbes in that, which we commonly refer to as good bacteria. So now these microbes or good bacteria help with a lot of things in your body like digestion, absorption of nutrients and even weight management. So unless your gut is not clear, unless your gut health is not good, forget reaching any goals or getting any satisfactory results. But one of the most important functions that they serve is that they produce neurotransmitters. So now what is that? Big word. So basically they are chemical messengers without which your body cannot function. For example, they carry chemical messages from and to brain. So these gut synthesized neurotransmitters send chemical messages to your brain that then regulates your sleep, your appetite, pain, emotion, mood, well-being, everything. So there is such an intricate network of interactions between your gut and your brain, and that is why your gut is now known as second brain. And scientifically, the relationship between two is known as gut-brain connection or gut-brain axis. So now there's still a lot of research left to do, and it's a huge subject and we have a lot to discover. But the research right now says that the food that we eat affects the health of these microbes, ultimately affecting the production of neurotransmitters, your brain and ultimately your emotions and mood. But you know what? I don't think we need research to prove this. Since time immemorial, I've been hearing, "Jaisa khaoge ann, वैसा बनेगा मन." It's really astonishing that what our Indian culture has discovered years ago, science is just proving that today with facts. So let's see what's a general diet that you can have to improve your mental health. Now over here I want to say that if you're really suffering from some mental conditions or if you see some symptoms, it is advisable that you directly work with a psychiatrist or a psychologist along with some health coach for personalized care. But if you want to understand what to eat generally to keep a very good mental health from day in and day out in your daily life, then this is what you need to watch. So I would first be talking about individual nutrients that you need to incorporate in your diet and then a general diet overall. But you need to understand no one food is going to work like magic, right? You would have to make total lifestyle change and incorporate a lot of these foods in your diet naturally. And that's what we'll be talking about. So let's see what foods you should eat to feel more sharp, energetic and in sync. So first and foremost, omega-3 fatty acids. Now this nutrient becomes extremely important in your body to fight inflammation. Now what is inflammation? Whenever you go through stress, which can be mental or physical, your body goes into an inflammation mode to heal it. Now if you are continuously stressed, or if there is an acute or a chronic stress, the requirement in your body increases a lot. For example, let's say if you are working out, that's kind of a stress to your body. Though it's a good stress, your body still needs to heal from that. At the same time, if there is any acute emotional stress that's going on, again your body requirement increases. And it has been found out that through food, it has become very difficult to fulfill this requirement. Now an inflamed body is not going to work at all. You will always feel lethargic or tired or sore. So this ingredient is this nutrient is very important for your well-being. This nutrient is usually found in fatty fishes, salmon, chia seeds, walnuts, flax seeds, avocados. However, you need to understand that you may have to have these foods 3 to 4 times a week, and probably even then the absorption from vegetarian sources is not very guaranteed. So if you think that you are under stress, or especially if you are working out every single day, then definitely, but otherwise if you are going through some acute chronic stress, then it's very important that if you are not able to fulfill this nutrient through food, you take some supplement. Now do not worry, these supplements are extremely natural because this is something that's already found in your body and in your food. Omega-3 fatty acid becomes very important because of the current lifestyle and the kind of food that we are taking. We consume a lot of omega-6 fatty acid and very less of omega-3. Now it's very important to maintain the balance of this. If there is extremely large omega-6 in your body and less omega-3, your body will continuously be in an inflammation mode, which is not good, not just for your body, your well-being, but also your internal organs. So include these foods in your diet. I will also write the sources down in the description box. You can check that out. And if it's not possible for you to have them every single day and fulfill your requirement through food, do not worry to go for a supplement. They are extremely natural and really required by our body, especially if you are going to work out every single day, or you are going working out 4 to 5 times a week, then even more important. If you want, I will just link a few of my go-tos in the description box. It is usually seen that omega-3 is found through fish oil, but there are a lot of vegan supplements available in the market too. So I will just link that down below. You can go and check that out, and dosage and everything would be written on that. But highly advisable that you inculcate these foods in your day-to-day life, and if it's not possible, you just go for some supplement which is from a good and trusted source. Now second ingredient or second nutrient that becomes very important is folate and iron. Now both of these nutrients are closely related to the formation of RBCs, that is red blood cells in your body, and hemoglobin, and both these are again important for proper oxygen saturation of your cells. Now too much science. Why is this important? Only when your cells are properly saturated with oxygen will you be able to carry out all the functions, plus there will be energy production in the body. So you do understand, a body without energy is dull and lazy. You know, the requirement of these two nutrients actually increase during pregnancy also, so you have to take care of that. If you are pregnant, just go and talk to your health practitioner about probably taking some supplements for both, and otherwise I will just link the sources in the description box too. You can include those foods in your daily life. It will become very important. Now folate and iron are usually found in green leafy vegetables, garden cress seeds, gingerly seeds, or commonly known as till, cauliflower, beets, dates, pulses, legumes, sprouts. Now you will see that these are everyday things that you can anyway include in your diet. Now the third nutrient that we are going to talk about is magnesium. Now magnesium helps total relaxation of your body. So for example, if you are suffering through a lot of rigidness, body ache, or lack of sleep, or constipation which is due to stress, magnesium will help with the relaxation of all the muscles in your body, and thus with all these things. So magnesium is found in spinach, chia seeds, black beans, then there is cashew, peanuts, almonds. Again, if you feel that you are extremely constipated because of stress, it can happen, or in general Of course, first would be lifestyle changes that you can do. If you need a video on how to resolve constipation, you can just comment that below and I will work on that. But again, if you feel that you're extremely constipated and you need some external help, instead of taking ESUP Gold or these common fibers, you can go for some magnesium supplements that will help you to relax. Even if you feel that you're sleep deprived or you're not feeling very sleepy because of stress, these pills will actually help you to relax. And again, these are just supplements, they are not any medications that you need to be worried about. If you need some good one and what form to have, I will again link that in the description box. You can just go there and check it out. Now the next nutrient is zinc. Now zinc helps to build your immune system, strengthen it, it helps with growth in your body, it helps to control the blood sugars. But the biggest function that the zinc plays in our body is that it lowers the stress hormone known as cortisol. So you can see by working on cortisol hormone, it directly reduces your stress. So few of the sources of zinc include giloy powder, seafoods, pumpkin seeds, all the plant seeds. Again, the sources of this particular nutrient are less, especially for vegetarians, and the absorption may also not be that good. Especially if you are stressed or if you think that you are going through some cold or cough or there is some infection in your body, the requirements really increase. Again, what I would suggest is try to inculcate these foods in your daily life, and for temporary, for acute stress or infection, if you feel that you need some extra help, you can go for supplement. Again, I will link everything down in the description box, so you do not have to worry which is the best form, best supplement, tried and trusted. But just saying, go for the natural foods first. Only if you think that there is a requirement, you can go in for a supplement, and you can talk to your health coach or somebody who knows about this, who can advise you for the dosage. In this video, I do not want to directly tell you take this supplement or that supplement, because the dosage varies for everyone, the requirement varies for everyone. So it's better that you just check it out for yourself, you talk to your health coach. In this video, I just want to make you aware of what nutrients you can have, what are the sources, and if requirement, what supplements you can take. Now another nutrient is B complex vitamins. Now these vitamins are extremely important for energy production in your body as well as production of RBC that we already talked previously. So B complex vitamins are usually found in spirulina powder or nutritional yeast or curd, whole grains, pulses. Again, you will see that these are everyday things that we anyway consume in our food. Now B complex vitamins also become very important because again, without energy production, without energy in your body, you are going to feel lethargic, you are going to feel down, you won't be motivated to do a lot of work. So very good for your mental health. Next and very important nutrient is vitamin D. Now even though I am saying vitamin D, it is now considered a hormone. And did you know that vitamin D, low levels of vitamin D are directly related to depression and feeling anxious. So please get your levels checked right now, and if you feel that the levels are below 30 Ng per ml, please go to your health coach or your doctor, get proper medication done for that. Now vitamin D is made in your body from fatty foods and sunshine. So please do not cut down on those fats. Have fat, there is nothing like low fat food. The minute you go on a low fat diet, you are going to disrupt all the hormonal system in your body. Fun fact, did you know that vitamin D actually requires cholesterol in your body for production? So yes, fat is a raw material to make this vitamin, or should I say hormone. Do not go on a low fat diet, get your levels tested right now, and if they are below 30, please get proper medication for that. Next nutrient is vitamin C. Now I do not need to talk much about it. I think we've all heard great things about vitamin C. It's a very good antioxidant, good for your skin as well as your mental health. Because it's going to fight all those oxidants in your body, it's really good. So vitamin C is commonly found in bell peppers, amla, guava, oranges, tomatoes, broccoli, strawberries. So again, include these vegetables, fruits in your diet. Next advice or nutrient would be pack in those prebiotics and probiotics. So now prebiotics are foods that provide nutrition to the bacteria that are actually already living in your gut, so that they can grow, they can multiply, and they can remain good bacteria. Whereas probacteria foods are something that already have these bacteria in them. Now these two nutrients, prebiotics and probiotics, actually help to maintain the stability of your gut. And anything that helps with your gut health is of course going to help with your brain health. But research also suggests that these two nutrients actually directly help or play a role in your body's response to stress and depression. Now, some foods that contain pre or probiotics are first and foremost fermented food. So, curd, buttermilk, yogurt, achar, and if you want to go a little fancy, kombucha, kimchi, and tenf. Foods like onion, garlic, and leeks, fruits, especially with the skin. Then there are vegetables, both starchy and non-starchy. And last but not the least, whole grains and pulses. These foods are also high in fiber. So again, ye for your gut health. And they also help with lowering the risk of anxiety, depression, and psychological stress. Now, if you've been paying close attention, you will see that these foods are something that we anyway have in your diet day in and day out. When the meals are cooked at home, they are fresh, they are local, and they are not coming out of packages or ready to cook meals. तो यार फंडा बहुत सिंपल है, be it man or woman, किचन में जाओ और खाना बनाना सीख लो. मेक श्योर एटलीस्ट 3 और 2 मील्स ऑफ योर डे घर से आ रहा है, घर पे बना हुआ है, या घर से बना हुआ खाना कहीं और से आ रहा है. बट बेसिकली इट इज़ फ्रेश कुक्ड मील्स विच आर मेड एट होम. एंड प्लीज़ डू नॉट कीप एनी फेवरेट फूड आइटम्स और मील्स और डिशेज. जब स्कूल में थे तभी टीचर फेवरेटिज्म करेगी, नहीं पसंद था. इवन यू डू नॉट लाइक एडवांटेजेस इन द सिस्टम, then why do you keep favorite foods and favorite food items or dishes that you're going to eat every single day? Variety is spice of life. Okay, गर्लफ्रेंड और बॉयफ्रेंड एक ही रखो, लेकिन उनके साथ अलग अलग खाना खाओ. After all, food is a love language, right? One nutrient that I forgot to say, or one nutrition tip is share your food with the loved ones. Okay, so a food's nutrition value is of primary consideration given. But there are a lot of other factors that we need to relate with food. And one of that is sharing your meals with the loved ones. Socially eating. Now, sharing your meals with your loved ones, your friends, family and community is one of the oldest human traditions and may actually help to brighten up your spirits and brighten up your life. And also, when you share foods, that's when you'll understand you'll have different types of food because everybody comes from different culture. The way they cook the food, the ingredients that they use, everything differs. So in that way, you're going to get a lot of variety in your food. So now everything has two sides, right? So सारी अच्छी बातें तो बता दी. What about foods that dampen down your spirits? Remember start में बताया था vacation पे जाना, going all out, eating left, right and center, and then when you come back you feel sluggish, lethargic and unmotivated. याद कर लो क्या क्या खाते थे vacation पे, बस वही चीज़ें daily life में avoid करनी है. So some treats here and there are okay, but eating the same kind of food every day in your life is not going to work. So ultra processed foods. Now ultra processed foods are something that have gone through industrial processing and chemical processing. So these foods tend to be higher in calories with less nutrition value, higher on salt, higher in sugar and probably bad kind of fat or trans fat. Some example of these foods I think which you all already know would include candies, treats, baked goods or deep fried nashta that we or snacks that we get outside, or most important diet food. Please, there is nothing known as diet snacks. You really don't know what kind of trans fats are going inside to make that food more tasty. So please stay away from all these ultra processed food every day in your life. Eating a pastry here and there sometimes is completely okay. Second, that is no surprise at all, is alcohol. Now alcohol is closely related to mental conditions and you will see that both of them go on in a loop. You feel sad, you have alcohol. Then you feel ultra sad or double sad, then you have more alcohol and it keeps on going. You know, I had read somewhere, alcohol is not the answer, it just makes you forget the question. Now drinking too much alcohol has been related to aggravating symptoms of depression or mood swings, anxiety and stress. Then there is something known as irregular meal times. Eating at different times every day has been directly shown to affect the health of your gut microbes and ultimately our mental health. यार इतना भी काम मत करो कि हेल्थ के लिए टाइम ही ना बचे. इट्स लाइक आज फ्री हूँ तो 12 बजे लंच कर लेती हूँ. ओह टुमारो देयर इज़ अ प्रोजेक्ट सबमिशन, पूरी रात मैं जागूंगी एंड देन आई डोंट नो व्हेन आई एम गोइंग टू ईट अनलेस दैट प्रोजेक्ट इज सबमिटेड. Okay, I understand eating at the same time every single day is not possible. But please, as much as possible, try to keep a regularity in your meal timings, or at least the same range when you're eating your meals. Then there is something known as lack of sleep. Okay, I know. बहुत सुन लिया है, time and again everybody is saying the same thing, time पे सो जाओ, time पे सो जाओ. Okay, I know you all have heard a lot. सब बोलते टाइम पे सो जाओ, टाइम पे सो जाओ. Time and again you all are hearing the same suggestion. But क्या करें, इतना बोलने के बाद भी Netflix shows become more important. Okay, I will not talk much about this in this video. I will just link another video where I have explained this. You can check it down here or on the I button. But यार टाइम पे सोया करो, रात को फ़ोन पे बात करके किसी का भला नहीं हुआ है. ओके, तो ये तो बता दिया क्या क्या करना है. ये तो बताओ कैसे करना है. हाउ कैन वी इनकलकेट ऑल दीज थिंग्स इन आवर डेली लाइफ. आई अंडरस्टैंड चेंजेस डू नॉट कम ईजिली, especially if you're working on changing something that you've been practicing throughout your life. So here are a few tips of how you can inculcate all this in your daily life. First and foremost, go easy on yourself. You are making a huge change in your life. It is not about going from the start point to the finish point in one night, सब एक साथ करना है. Unless I do not reach the finish point, I have not accomplished anything. Do not keep that kind of thought process. Take it as a journey where you're inculcating one change every single day. Decide what your speed would be. Do not just compare that I have to finish this much in this many days. See what your speed is, see how you are able to make the changes, and then inculcate small things every single day. So for example, if your goal is to include more vegetables in your meals, कल से ऐसे नहीं है कि बड़े बड़े सैलड्स खाने हैं और you have to have a bowl full of vegetables, only then you're good, otherwise you're not making the change. Try small things, try inculcating like probably having one cucumber before your lunch, or including one tomato before your dinner, or including some soups before, and then once you like the taste of it, or once you get accustomed to that, then slowly building it up. And along the way, if you slip and stumble, it's fine, just get up and get back on track. Just because you have slipped does not mean that you have to catch up whatever bad has happened. It's fine, let it be, and then start again. My next tip would be that eat mindfully. So मैंने तो बड़ा लिस्ट बता दिया, this food is good, this food is good, this food is good, this food is bad, but it does not work like that. So when you are eating mindfully, you have to pay attention that when you eat certain food, how does that feel in your body? How do you feel after eating that food? For example, high fiber foods do not suit everyone. You may probably become bloated or feel gassy after eating that. So just because I have said that fiber is good for your body and good for your mental health, that does not mean you force that on yourself. And again, for your body to understand that, okay, after eating this food, I'm not feeling good. It's very important that you pay attention while eating that food. And when your body on its own understands that, okay, this is something that I don't like, I do not like the feeling of myself after eating this food, you will automatically be able to reduce it in your meals. My next tip would be to start small. Like I said, सब कुछ एक दिन में नहीं करना है. Just because you've been advised something or you heard something, सब कुछ एक साथ नहीं करना है. For example, if you're taking 5 to 6 cups of tea in a day and your aim is to reduce it, that does not mean you directly go to zero and then you feel like a failure just because you could not do it. 5 से 6 ले रहे हो तो 3 से 4 पे आओ and then slowly reduce it. So for example, if your goal is to inculcate more fruits in your diet, that does not mean कल से पूरा फ्रूट बोल लेके बैठ जाओगे. Start with probably one slice of apple, one banana, something that is small, and then when you start liking the feeling of it, that's when you start getting a little hard on yourself. And one of the most important, underrated and underdone thing that I can tell you, or a tip that I can tell you, is monitor your progress. Every day you're doing different things and you're feeling small changes in your body. And unless you do not monitor that, unless you do not monitor which food made you feel like what, it's going to be very difficult to track your entire progress or feel motivated. Because these small changes are so small that you actually forget them. But when you monitor it, when you track your progress, you exactly know that what achievement you've done in that week, how did it feel, and how you can increase that in the next week. And by monitor, I do not mean कि एक mental note ले लो. No, journal it down. Write it down that what foods did you eat this week? How did it make you feel? If you are really serious of making a change. This way what can happen is you will get your own personalized list of which foods you like, which foods you can incorporate, what habits you can do in your daily life, and you would not need somebody to tell you कि क्या करना है. So काफ़ी कुछ do's, don'ts, tips सब कुछ बता दिया. Now let's come to a real life example, so even you can relate, you know, that what you can do or how it affects you. So we talked about how different foods affect your mental health and how they are better for your mental health. But what if exactly opposite happens? What if you are stressed, be it acute or chronic, and your appetite totally goes for a stress and you do not feel like eating anything? Then what? So I had someone telling me that when they are stressed, they do not feel like eating anything, but they are hungry. But at the same time, they do not feel like eating anything, and especially roti sabzi, it cannot go down their throat. So let's break this down. First of all, stop attaching guilt and rules to your food. You know, I can understand, as kids we were taught that you have to have roti sabzi, it is healthy, and if you do not have it, you were termed as a bad kid, you know, and that sticks around. Even when you grow old, you feel that unless you are not eating roti sabzi, you are not doing something good, you are not doing something healthy. So please do not attach this kind of guilt and rules to food. It is not roti sabzi that's healthy. It is the combination of these different foods that's healthy. It's the combination of vegetables, cereals, pulses, grains, whole grains, be it whatever form you have it. And also stop forcing your body to eat. Okay, when you're stressed, when your appetite has gone down and you're forcing your body to eat, and you're saying that, oh, if I don't eat, it's not good, I'm not doing something right, and then you forcefully feed your body, that means you're creating stress upon stress. Now your body is stressed that it also has to eat food and digest food when it's not feeling like that. See, by no means I am telling कि खाना छोड़ दो. So then what's the solution? Very simple. Eat at intervals, eat small portions, eat when your body is feeling hungry, and probably make it a combination of foods that suiting your palate at that time. So now, how do you eat? First and foremost, whatever the first meal you are having during that time, be it breakfast, brunch, lunch, whatever the first food that you are having, make sure it's a combination of good protein and fats. So now again, do not worry about quantities. Eat how much you are capable at that time, but make sure that this combination is maintained. So any simple Indian breakfast foods like poha, sprouts, or let's say paneer idli or paneer dosa, any of this works. So this combination first thing in the morning is very important. So this is what the first meal you will have. Then what if you do not feel like having whole foods or whole meals throughout the day? Very simple. Intervals पे small snack kind of items खा लो. For example, there is a fruit with some peanut butter, or there are dry fruits, or coconut water, or you can have some sprouted bale or normal masala bale with lot of vegetables, or you can have hummus with cucumber and carrots at different intervals. What this will do is provide you with enough energy. These are all good and clean food, so again no worry about that, and at the same time you will be eating something throughout the day. Now the question was, roti sabzi nahi kha pa rahe ho, to kya, is it bad? No, if you cannot have roti sabzi, make some wraps out of it. Make paneer tikka wraps, or probably have some high protein biryani, or you can make some buddha bowl. So just find creative ways of how you can include the same things in different way, so it's more appealing to your eyes and to your palate. Because you are stressed at that moment, probably that's what you want to feel good while eating. So ये तो हो गया खाने की बातें. What else? Now when you're feeling dull or when you're not feeling very motivated, I would really advise if you go out for some walk or some strolls or do some kind of exercise, and if it is done out in the nature, even better. Just food will not work. It's equally important that you're active or you're moving about, right? When you exercise or when you do any form of movement, your body is naturally going to feel little pumped, and all those happy hormones going on in your body. At the same time, probably if you've lost your appetite, when you work out or when you exercise or when you go for simple walks, probably it may jolt your body, and you may start feeling a little bit more hungry, and then your appetite may come back to normal. Again, these are not 1 or 2 day solution. This is something that you need to really incorporate in your lifestyle for some time, so that you come back to where you were. So in conclusion, do not overcomplicate nutrition, food, exercise, and please do not keep any rules with food. and then feel guilty that, oh, you're breaking that, or oh, this is not healthy. You've been taught that only doing this is healthy, only eating salad is healthy, only eating roti sabzi is healthy, and if you're not doing that, you're breaking it. Now these were some tips and tricks that I have told you that you can incorporate in your normal life to feel better mentally, to feel more energetic and active, and in sync with everything. But please note that if you're going through any mental condition symptoms, and if you're going through some chronic stress, it is very important that you get some professional help, and someone who can guide you through it. Now if you've made so far in the video and if you like it, please comment the secret phrase healthy mind down in the comments, so I would know and I would really appreciate it. You can follow me on my Instagram for more interesting content, and if you found this video interesting, helpful or informative, please share it with your friends, family, colleagues, somebody whom you think is going to benefit from this. Let's get healthy together, let's get fit together. If you need any help, you can always DM me on my Instagram. And if there's any particular topic that you want me to cover, you can comment that below. If there's any question you want to ask, you can comment that below too. I will surely reply to that. Until next time, stay healthy, stay fit.